Perspectives. Transportation services. Listen to these comments about transportation services.
The buses are old and slow, and they cause too much pollution. In cities with less pollution, people are healthier.
There are too many cars. All the cars, taxis, and buses are a danger to bicyclists. There is too much traffic.
There should be fewer cars, but I think that the biggest problem is parking. There just isn't enough parking.
Listening. Singapore solves it. Listen to a resident of Singapore talk about how his city has tried to solve its traffic problems.
Singapore has done a lot to try to solve its traffic problems. For example, to drive into the downtown business district, motorists need to buy a special pass. They can go into the business district only if they have the pass on their windshield. Another thing Singapore has done is to make it more difficult to buy cars. People have to apply for a certificate before they can buy a car. Not everyone can get a certificate. There's a limited number of them. There's also a high tax on cars, so a new one costs a lot of money. A car can cost 3 or 4 times more in Singapore than in the US or Canada. The other thing Singapore has done is build an excellent public transportation system. Their subway system is one of the best in the world, and there's also a very good taxi and bus system.
Conversation. Could you tell me? Listen and practice.
Excuse me, could you tell me where the nearest ATM is?
There's one upstairs, across from the duty-free shop.
Great. And do you know where I can catch a bus to the city?
Sure, just follow the signs for transportation.
Okay, and can you tell me how often they run?
They run every 20 minutes or so.
And just one more thing. Do you know where the restrooms are?
Right behind you. Do you see where that sign is?
Oh, thanks a lot.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. Check the information that Eric asks for.
Excuse me, it's me again. I'm sorry. I need some more information if you don't mind. Do you know how much the bus costs?
It's $20. You can buy a ticket on the bus.
$20? Wow.
Well, a taxi costs about $50.
Okay. And do you know where a bookstore is? I'd like to get a guidebook.
Go upstairs and turn right. You'll see one on your left.
Thanks very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Listening. Celebrity interview. Listen to an interview with Jerry, a fashion model.
Thanks for taking the time to speak with me, Jerry.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
You have a beautiful accent. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in England, in a city called Brighton.
How do you spell that?
Brighton.
Just like it sounds.
Yes.
What was that like?
Brilliant. It's a lovely city, right by the sea. My family still lives there. My father owns a restaurant and my mother teaches school.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I never thought I'd be a model. I wanted to be a doctor or maybe a writer.
Why not a model?
Well, I always thought I looked funny.
I can't imagine it. Were you popular when you were growing up?
Not really. I wasn't unpopular, but I wasn't in the popular crowd at school. I had a nice group of friends, though.
How did you like school?
Oh, I loved school. I was a great student. My mother actually taught at my primary school. I always thought that was terrific.
What about your free time as a child? Did you have a hobby?
I used to love to draw. Later I learned to paint, and I still do that. Actually, I have some paintings in a gallery right now.
That's impressive.
Well, it's a very small exhibit, but it's something I really enjoy.
Did you have a favorite game when you were growing up?
I used to play video games a lot as a kid. The video games then were very different from the games now. I didn't have a favourite, though. I liked a lot of them.
What about a favorite place?
My favourite place. I used to go to a summer camp in Ireland. I loved that. I got to go horseback riding almost every day.
Do you still go to Ireland?
No, not very often.
Perspectives. Which would you prefer? Listen to these opinions about houses and apartments. Which ones are about space? 1.
Apartments are too small for pets.
2.
Apartments aren't big enough for families.
3.
Apartments don't have as many rooms as houses.
4.
Apartments have just as many expenses as houses.
5.
Apartments don't have enough parking spaces.
6.
Houses cost too much money.
7.
Houses aren't as safe as apartments.
8.
Houses aren't as convenient as apartments.
9.
Houses don't have enough closet space.
10.
Houses don't have as much privacy as apartments.
Listening. Capsule hotels. Listen to Brad describe a capsule hotel.
Welcome to the program, Your Home is My Home. Our guest tonight is Brad Phillips from California. Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Well, at the moment, I'm working as an English teacher in Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo is an exciting city, but it's also very spread out. It can sometimes take hours to go from one part of the city to another. When I don't feel like going all the way home, I sometimes stay in a capsule hotel.
A capsule hotel? Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, it's a hotel with lots of small rooms. Actually, they're not really rooms. They're spaces that are 2 meters by 1 meter and only a meter high. In other words, they're very cramped. But the hotel is cheap and very convenient.
And what's inside each little room? Or should I say each space?
Well, inside every capsule, there's a bed, a TV.
A TV? Really?
Yeah, and a reading light, a radio, and an alarm clock. The hotel also has lockers where you can keep your personal belongings.
Interesting. So what kind of people stay in a capsule hotel?
Well, probably people like me. People who miss the last train home or don't want to go all the way home only to turn around and come back to work again. It gets pretty busy, as you can imagine.
Finally, would you recommend a capsule hotel to other people?
Sure, the rooms are small, but you get used to sleeping in a small space. I just wouldn't recommend a capsule hotel to people who can't relax in small, cramped spaces.
Conversation. Making changes. Listen and practice.
So, are you still living with your parents, Terry?
I'm afraid so. I wish I had my own apartment.
Why? Don't you like living at home?
It's okay, but my parents are always asking me to be home before midnight. I wish they'd stop worrying about me.
Yeah, parents are like that.
And they expect me to help around the house. I hate housework. I wish life weren't so difficult.
So, why don't you move out?
Hey, I wish I could. But where else can I get free room and board?
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What changes would Brian like to make in his life?
Yeah, it's sometimes pretty hard to pay the rent. I'm thinking of finding a new job.
Really? What kind of job would you like?
I'm not sure, but I wish I worked somewhere else. I'm tired of this place. I need to live somewhere more exciting.
I know what you mean. Hey, maybe we could move to a different city. We could even be roommates.
Yeah, maybe.
Conversation. Have you ever... Listen and practice.
Hey, this sounds strange. Snails with garlic. Have you ever eaten snails?
Yes, I have. I had them here just last week.
Did you like them?
Yes, I did. They were delicious. Why don't you try some?
No, I don't think so.
Have you decided on an appetizer yet?
Yes. I'll have a small order of the snails, please.
And you, sir?
I think I'll have the fried brains.
Fried brains? I've never heard of that. It sounds scary.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. How did Steve like the fried brains? What else did he order?
Oh, good. Here comes our server now.
Here are your snails. And for you, sir, the fried brains.
These snails are delicious. How are the brains?
Well, I think they're... Yuck! Oh, sorry. I guess brains are too strange for me. I think I'm going to order something else, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I really don't care for this appetizer. Could you bring me something else?
Yes, of course. What would you like instead?
Try the snails.
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you what. Just forget an appetizer for me and bring me a nice, juicy hamburger with French fries and a large soda.
Listening. I really need a change. Listen to 3 people talk about things they wish they could change. 1.
I get really bored on weekends. I wish I belonged to a club or a sports team. I'd get to meet new people and make new friends. And I'd get into better shape, too.
2.
I wish I could type better. I should take a typing course this summer. I really need it for my schoolwork. And people say that if you can type really well, it's something you'll find useful later in life.
3.
I've been so stressed out lately. I really need to get away. I wish I could take a short trip to a beach, just for a few days.
No computer, no cell phone, no TV even. I'd just take a good book and relax.
Conversation. What are you going to do? Listen and practice.
I'm so excited. We have 2 weeks off. What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. I guess I'll just stay home. Maybe I'll hang out with my friends and watch some movies. What about you? Any plans?
Yeah, I'm going to relax at the beach with my cousin. We're going to go surfing every day. And my cousin likes to fish, so maybe we'll go fishing one day.
Sounds like fun.
Say, why don't you come with us?
Do you mean it? I'd love to. I'll bring my surfboard.
That's great. The more the merrier.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. Where are they going to stay? How will they get there?
By the way, where are we going to stay?
Oh, we can stay at my aunt and uncle's beach house. They have plenty of room, and I'm sure they'll be happy to have guests. I'll call in tonight to let them know what time we're going to arrive. I guess we'll leave pretty early. There's a direct bus every morning at 5 a.m.
That's fine with me. I think I'll be too excited to sleep.